Quick question for all Python beginners. Why does this work, 2 plus 2, but this fails, 2 plus 2 in quotes? If you've ever wondered why Python sometimes accepts numbers and sometimes refuses, then you cannot miss this video. Stick around because by the end this will be crystal clear and your Python code will never confuse you again. In the last video, you learnt about data types in Python. You saw integers, floats, strings, booleans, and you also saw that Python is smart enough to figure out data types automatically. Till now, whatever values we used in our Python programs, we were writing them ourselves inside the code. But real-world programs don't work like that. Real programs take input from users. Think about an ATM machine. Every day, hundreds of people use the same ATM, every hour. The ATM doesn't remember anyone's PIN. When you insert your card and enter your PIN, the ATM program temporarily takes that input, checks it with the bank's system, and only then allows you to withdraw cash. Once the transaction is done, your PIN is not stored inside the ATM. It just uses your input for that moment and moves on to the next user. Or think about customer care IVR systems. When you call customer care, your call is not directly answered by an agent. First, the program asks you questions. Hindi ke liye 1 dabaएं. For English, press 2. I know it's frustrating, but that's how the program understands why you called and which team your call should go to. You are giving input, and the program is making decisions based on that input. Python programs work in the same way. So now, let's see how a Python program takes input from the user. Open Google Colab and let's start. To take input from the user, we use the keyword input. Whenever we take input, we also need to tell the user what input we want. For example, let's ask the user, "What is your name?" This question is written inside the parenthesis. And because we are asking the question in text form, we need to write it inside quotes. Now press play or press Shift-Enter. You'll notice that the play symbol keeps rotating. That means the program is running and waiting for input. Till the time you don't give the input, the code will stay in the execution phase. Now enter your name, let's say Rahul, and hit enter. See this? The play symbol comes back to normal. That means the program has finished executing, there is no error, and the program ran successfully. Now let's ask one more question. This time, we'll ask, "What is your age?" You already know the drill. Just copy-paste the previous code and change the question. Execute the program. When the program asks for age, let's enter 30 and press enter. Now observe the output carefully. We entered a name and an age. But what is common in both outputs? Look closely. For the name, Python puts single quotes around the input. For the age also, Python puts single quotes around the input. That means whatever we type as input, Python is returning it back as text. And we already know one rule. Anything inside quotes, Python treats as a string. String means text. So even though we typed 30, Python is not treating it as a number. It is treating it as text. Just to be 100% sure, let's check whether Python is really treating age as text. Let's test it. Now, instead of directly taking input, we'll store the inputs inside variables. We'll use two variables, name and age. I'm not writing anything new. I'm just modifying the same code. First for the name is equal to input enter your name. Similarly, for age is equal to input enter your age. Now execute the code. For the first input, enter the name, Rahul. For the second input, enter 30. Both inputs are now stored in variables. Name has the value Rahul, age has the value 30. But the real question is Python treating age as a number or text? Let's find out next. So what Python just did is this. It took the input from you and stored it inside two variables, name and age. Now we already learned earlier that to check what kind of data is stored inside a variable, we use the keyword type. So let's check it. First, type of name. Execute it. The output is string. That makes sense, right? Because a name is text. Now let's check the age. Type of age, execute it. The output is again string. Alright, so Python is treating your age also as text. This feels a little weird, doesn't it? Because if my age is 30 and I want to know what will be my age after 10 years, I should be able to do a mathematical operation like 30 plus 10. So let's try that. Print age plus 10. Execute. And now, we get an error. The error says, can only concatenate string, not int to string. What's actually happening here is this. We are asking Python to add age, which Python is currently treating as text, to a number which is 10. And logically also, we cannot add text to a number. So Python is absolutely right to throw an error. Now the question is, what do we need to do if you want to add age with a number? Simple. We need to convert the text age into a number and leave 10 as it is. So the final calculation becomes 30 plus 10 is equal to 40. To convert text into a number, we need to tell Python explicitly. We tell Python, when you are receiving the input from the user, convert it into an integer. So now our code becomes age is equal to int input enter your age. Let's execute this again. When the program asks enter your age, Rahul enters 30. Execute. Now quickly check the type. Type of age, nice. This time Python is storing age as an integer. Now go ahead and execute the other cell as well. The one where we calculate Rahul's age after 10 years. Hit play. Nice. This time we did not get any error. Now let's pause for a moment and quickly recap what we learned. First is taking input in Python. The first and most important thing we learned is whenever you take input from the user in Python, it is always treated as text. This is Python's behavior, even if you ask for something like a price. For example, price equals to input enter the price. Execute this. Now enter 99.99 and check its type. Type of price. You will see the output is string. Even though you entered a float value, Python still treats it as a string. Why does this happen? Because input always reads what you type as raw text, not as a number. This is a design choice, not a bug. Python does only one job here. Take whatever the user types on the keyboard and store it as text. Python does not think, oh, this looks like a float. Python thinks user typed characters 9, 9, decimal 9 and 9. Your keyboard does not send int, float, boolean. It only sends characters. So Python has no way to safely guess whether 1234 is age, quantity, PIN, OTP or phone number. 99.99 is a price, version number or just text. So Python just plays safe. Everything that comes from input is a string. Why Python doesn't auto-convert? This part is very important. Imagine this input, 001234. If Python auto-converted it to a number, the leading zeros would be lost. That could break PIN numbers, ID numbers, zip codes. So Python clearly says, I'll give you text, you decide what it should become. This is smart design, not laziness. So final takeaway for you is, input doesn't return numbers, it returns raw text. Python is smart, but it's not a mind reader. Second is typecasting in Python. If you want to do anything that involves mathematical operations like plus, minus, multiply, divide, then you cannot use text. You must first convert the user input from text into a number. Depending on what you are trying to do, you convert it into integer or float. This conversion of one data type into another is called typecasting in Python. You might also hear it called just casting. Both mean the same thing, so use whichever term is easier for you to remember. Right now we have only converted text into an integer, but as we progress in upcoming chapters, we will do a variety of other typecastings as well. Third is built-in functions in Python. Till now we have been using some special words like print, type, input to display something on the screen. To check the data type, to take input from the user. We casually call them keywords. Technically these are called functions. More specifically, they are called built-in functions in Python. You can definitely Google what is a function in Python. But the way I understand it is this. A function is simply a bunch of code already written by Python developers and wrapped inside one word. So programmers like you and me can use it directly without worrying about how the function is written or how it is managed internally. These built-in functions come pre-installed with Python. Built-in functions usually need input from us. This input is called parameters. And parameters are always written inside parentheses. For printing something on the screen, print hello. Here hello is the parameter. To check the data type, type of age. Here age is the parameter. To take input from the user, input enter your name. Here the question inside quotes is the parameter. Fourth is color coding in Google Colab. You might have noticed one more thing in Google Colab. The code is color coded. For example, these keywords appear in brown. Text or strings appear in red. This kind of color coding is actually very helpful. It's easy on the eyes, and just by looking at the code you can quickly understand where a function is being used, where text or strings are present. This is called syntax highlighting. Different code editors use different colors. So if tomorrow you open VS Code, PyCharm, any other editor, you may see different color combinations. So don't say functions are always brown. That's not a Python rule, that's just how Google Colab shows it. For now, keep it simple. Use the color coding as a visual help to build a strong foundation. Now, based on everything we learned, you should be able to answer this yourself. Why does 2 plus 2 work, but why does 2 inside quotes plus 2 fail? Hope you enjoyed this chapter and now clearly understand how input works, why Python treats input as text, and why typecasting is important. We'll continue this journey in the next technical chapter. Till then, you take very good care, keep practicing and make sure to subscribe to the channel. See you soon.